Hello all my dearest students of full English. I hope you all are doing good. So this is a video which is very important for all those students who are appearing for their exams of CA final group 2 especially in May 2025 or November 2025. So there are a lot of doubts which has been asked by my South Indian students, mainly South Indian students who want to learn direct tax in full English, that what is the difference between the three batches that is there on your website, sir. So the three batches which is there on my website, which is all of them are in full English. That is regular batch, exam oriented batch, and the third one is practical question batch. So who should opt for which one? So this is something which I need to clarify to you all. That's the reason I am making this particular video for you all. So first of all, I would like to address about the practical question batch. Who should go for practical question batch? I will address that first, and then we will come to what regular versus the exam oriented batch. Sir, who should go for the practical question batch? Let me tell you. Any student who has done with his CA final DT coaching, he is done with his coaching. Or if he is not done with his coaching, he is not doing coaching. So if he is done with his self-study and he is done with all the concepts, he is sure about the concept. If you are sure about your concepts, if you know your concepts well, but you have not done sufficient practice of questions. Sufficient practice of questions is the most important thing in CA final direct tax. If you have not done sufficient practice of question means what? At least 300 to 350 questions you should have done so far in direct tax while completing the batch. So if you have not done at least 300 to 350 questions, then I seriously recommend you that you should do practice of enough questions. And for that purpose, if you sit and do practical question at your end, it will take lot of time for you to complete that. And that is the reason we have brought this practical question batch. In this practical question batch, again I am saying it is recommended to whom? All those who are done with the concepts, all those who are done with their studies but not done enough practice of questions. For you all, practical question batch is the most ideal batch. In this batch we are going to cover more than 450 questions, which will cover all ICI material questions, which will cover many important questions drafted by me as per the Finance Act 2024 amendments, and the most important one, this will cover last 8 attempt RTPs, last 8 mock test papers, and last 8 exam papers. So these are the things which are going to be covered in this particular batch. Okay. So this batch is for whom? As I have told you. Now coming to the regular and the exam oriented batch. What is the difference between the regular and exam oriented batch? Who can opt for this? Both the batches are for those students who are studying the direct tax for the first time. Okay. So if you are doing direct tax for the first time, then you can go for either of the batch. Now what is the difference between the two, sir? The first difference is the regular batch is for 220 hours. How much? 220 hours. It will be around 200 to 220 hours, somewhere around 200 to 220 hours between that. Okay. And the exam oriented batch will be around 130 hours to 140 hours. I am telling the maximum time that I am going to take along with the revision videos and all. Now who should opt for what? So should I go for regular batch or exam oriented batch? See, in both the batches, first of all, let me clarify very clearly. In both the batches, all the concepts are covered. In both the batches, all the chapters are covered. In both the batches, all the questions are covered. In both the batches, we are going to cover 450 questions. Don't worry. In both the batches, we will cover more than 200 MCQs. Don't worry. Then what is the difference between the two? Let me tell you the difference. In regular batch, you get 5 books, in which you get 3 detailed book extra. Okay. You get 3 detailed books extra. Let me show you the extract of the detailed book. This is the detailed book. Okay. This is the provision on depreciation, in which there will be some bare act provisions. So in regular batch, what we do, we explain the students the analysis of the bare act, because we have time. If time is there, we have to detail the provision. So in bare act, how the things are written, how to explain, how to write the things, how the government has made the amendment, what kind of analysis has to be made while reading a bare act. So if you want to learn direct tax from a very practical perspective, what perspective I am telling? If you want to learn direct tax from a very practical perspective, then you should go for regular batch. But if you want to learn direct tax from an exam perspective, then you should go for exam oriented batch. Even in exam oriented batch, we cover entire 100% syllabus. All concepts of ICI material are covered. Nothing is left. All questions are covered. Every doubt will be solved. Everything is covered over here also. But the basic difference between the two batches, that regular batch covers something more than the exam oriented batch, something more than what is relevant for exam also. It covers every provisions bare act analysis in our separate textbook. In this batch, in regular batch, we will be dealing with the practical perspective, especially in assessment procedure and all, how the department sends notice, how we have to reply to the department's notice, so on and so forth practically. So apart from that, for clearing exams, both of them are sufficient. But to excel in practical life, you should go for regular batch. Now, you need to just check two conditions, whether you should go for regular batch or fast track batch or exam oriented batch. First, do you have sufficient time? If you have 3 months or more before exams, then you should go for regular batch. That is my personal recommendation, then it is your choice. Second, if you want to make direct tax a career, then you should go for regular batch. Two conditions, that's it. If you have more than 3 months time before exam, then go for regular batch. If you have more than 3 months, first condition. Second condition, if you want to excel in direct tax in your career, which I guess most of you want to, because every second student in CA is going to make career in tax only, either direct tax or indirect tax, most of them in direct tax. Therefore, if you want to excel in career, you should go for regular batch. But if you have less than 3 months time, you are taking the batch in the last 2 months, last 2.5 months, last 1.5 months, then you should go for exam oriented batch. Secondly, if you are not least interested in practical approach, you just want to clear your exams with good marks, then you should go for exam oriented batch. That's it. That's the basic difference between the two batch. Okay. As far as number of hours are considered, 240 hours, 140 hours, 220 hours, 140 hours. These are the maximum number of hours. Here there will be 5 books. 2 books will be common. This color book will be common, and common in both the batches. Okay. And 3 detail book will be extra in the regular batch, which will not be available in your exam oriented batch. Number of questions, 450 questions will be covered here, 450 questions here, 450 questions here also. Number of questions covered each will be same in all the batches. Number of MCQs will also be same. Doubt solving will be done to you through our WhatsApp group, WhatsApp number, and also through our Telegram channel, which I have spoken in the lecture also. Now, few more doubts come to the student's mind. Sir, if we are done with regular batch, then does it cover all the content of exam oriented? Obviously. Regular batch is detailed as compared to exam oriented. Obviously, you don't have to worry about what is there in exam oriented batch. If you are done with regular batch, don't think about exam oriented batch then. Sir, if you are done with regular batch, are we done with all the practical question? Obviously, you are done with all the practical question. If you are done with regular batch, you are definitely done with all the practical questions. Obviously, you don't have to worry about it. The regular batch is a larger perspective. It covers everything. Sir, if I am done with exam oriented batch, does it cover practical question batch, all questions? Yes, definitely. Don't have to worry about it. Okay. So many students, many a time do what? They take this batch also, and then we have to refund this batch. Why? Because this is the duplication. If you are taking exam oriented batch, it is my commitment that I will cover every question. Don't worry. I will not compromise on exam perspective. Yes, in exam oriented batch, we will compromise on the practical perspective, not exam perspective. Okay. And the third one, now everything cannot be done in 120 hours now. You will say explain us bare act also, explain us the question also, explain us all chapters also, all concept also, and that also complete in 100 hours. That is impossible. Anybody who is making such commitment is false. I do not believe in making false commitments. I make only commitments which are genuine. If I am able to do X plus, I will commit X. If I am able to do X plus, I will commit only X, and then I will do X plus for you all. I will not do less. Okay. Apart from this, I will be uploading separate revision videos for you all in full English. Don't worry about it. Separate MCQ video, separate past paper compilation, separate RTP, separate MTPs. Everything will be done for you all on what? On YouTube separately later on. But all those things will be of help if you are done with the batch with us. If you are doing batch with some other teachers and then you are coming to us for revision videos, because other teachers don't put revision videos in English, they put only in Hindi. They don't complete their commitments. We are not like that. If you are taking lectures in English, we will put the revision videos also in English. If you are taking lectures in English, we will put all ICI stuff, whatever is relevant for your exams in Hindi, that will also be put simultaneously in English. You can go and check my channel, please. So that's it. I hope I have answered all your queries. If you still have any query, you can ask on this number, and you can order our batch from this website, that is aarishkhan.com. Okay. So till then, take care all of you. Bye. I hope to teach you all and I hope you all will enjoy greatly with me in my batches.